Hey guys, this is Andrew from Interloper, and you are watching Sonic Perspectives.
Hello, guys. This is Carlos Gomez from Sonic Perspectives, and today we have a very special guest. We are going to be talking with Andrew VIRRUETA from Interloper. Hello, Andrew.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
I'm great, dude. Taking it day by day, man.
Right, that's right. So, Andrew, we're going to be talking about your newest band called Interloper, which is about to release its debut album called Search Party. That's going to be released on June 11th by Nuclear Blast, right?
Correct.
So, a little bit of background for the band. So, Interloper consists mainly of Miles Dimitri Baker, which is the guitar player, one of the guitar players. Then we have Aaron Stechauner. I don't know how to pronounce that, but
Stechauner. Yeah,
Stechauner. Yes, Stechauner.
Yeah.
Right. That's who's the drummer. And last but not least, of course, yourself, Andrew VIRRUETA, on guitar and vocals. Um, so, first question to you, Andrew. I know you have played with the Faceless as a session musician. Do you currently still play for the Faceless as a
Yep.
session musician? Okay.
Yeah, that's right, man. And Michael and I are going to be writing the next Faces album together. I've actually got quite a few songs and ideas already hashed out and stuff for that. So, and I'm sure Michael does as well. So we're going to put our heads together pretty soon here.
Nice. And so did you or Aaron, did you guys play by any chance with the Faceless on 70,000 Tons of Metal recently?
Yes. Yep.
All right, so I think I did see you guys there.
Oh, okay.
That's
Hell
pretty
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, that was a great show. I remember. I think I took. I saw one of the sets. It was, I think, the first one. It was like very late, man. It was like 5 in the morning, but
Dude,
I made it. That was insane. It was so good.
it's crazy that they do that, man. But I guess it makes sense because no one sleeps. It's like a casino on that thing. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Exactly. There's no
Yeah.
such thing as sleeping on that boat. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I was just curious, because I thought maybe there was a chance that I've already seen you play live before. So there it is.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Great.
Pretty neat. So, let's talk about Interloper. What can you tell us about the band name? Do you consider yourselves as interlopers?
Well, the idea for the band name actually was made, and it was made by Miles.
Hmm.
So Miles started the band, and he's a big fan of a video game called Half-Life.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know that one. It's a
Yeah. So
classic PC game.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
uh,
So Half-Life is, or I'm sorry, Interloper is, I believe, one of the chapters in the second Half-Life, and so he named the band after that.
well, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Cool, man. And as we reviewed the band members, of course, one of the first things you notice is that there's no official bass player. So I guess my question is, who recorded the bass for your debut album, Search Party?
Yeah, dude. So we had one of our good buddies, Jacob Umansky, who plays in a band called Intervals.
Hmm.
He tracked bass for the album, and we knew he was the man for the job because he actually did the first Faceless tour with me on bass. So we got tight on that tour and stuff, and I saw him play every night, and it's just like insane. So um, it was only right that he did bass for the Interloper album.
And are you guys like interested in looking for a permanent bass player, or do you just feel comfortable having, a session or an outsider musician?
I think we definitely want a bass player. Definitely want a bass player. Uh, it's just that I guess maybe just right now, for the time being, we're just going to keep it as a three-piece, and maybe have session players live.
Okay.
But we do eventually want to end up having somebody permanent, that we trust and know very well. because introducing another person into the writing room kind of thing is pretty hard. It's pretty like crazy to think about for us because of how like volatile the writing situation already is. You know, we have such contrasting opinions within the band already.
Right.
So fourth is just like I can't even think about it right now, and I don't think the other guys can either. But at some point, I definitely do want that.
To have a bass player with you guys, like permanently.
Yes.
Great. And now that you mentioned the writing process, I was reading that your brother also has an input on the writing process, right? How,
Yeah, more or less for the album. You know, he put on his producer hat. You know what I mean? And we do a lot of the final bells and whistles and all of that kind of stuff ourselves when we pre-pro the songs. So they're already like I would say like 90% exactly how we want the songs to be before we go into the final mix process.
mm-hmm.
But you know, my brother just has really good ideas, and his ears are fresh to the songs. And so he's definitely had a hand in kind of making the good sections great, and you know, just making things how turning the songs into like actual songs. You know.
Right. Okay. Okay. Cool. I found it interesting that having a family member, having his input into the band. It's something that, of course, you gotta have some sort of like harmony and good relations, with the rest of the band as well, not just with yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, Joey's a good friend of Aaron's and Miles's
Hmm.
already. Obviously, I grew up with him, and we grew up making music together. He's the one that I bounced my writing ideas off of, and we kind of taught each other how to write music together. So he's somebody that I have like complete faith in regards to understanding the visions that we're trying to like portray in the songs and the environments that we're trying to create in the songs. He like instantly he can hear it and be like, oh, I know what you're trying to do, and then he'll carry it out, you know, properly. So it's really nice, and it went really smoothly.
Great, great. Um, Still talking about the way Interloper works. I also read that you guys were at first trying to look for a vocalist, and it seems like it ended up being you, the one doing the vocals. So I guess my question is, why weren't you considering doing it from the beginning?
Um, because the music's too hard on guitar already.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
That's
Yeah,
why.
singing and playing can be tricky. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And I mean, when I joined this band, the songs that we were playing were like the very first ones that Miles and Aaron had written before I was in the band, which were like full on like technical
Hmm.
death metal songs, you know, like 260 BPM, like insane stuff that when I joined, I like couldn't even play. Like I had to get on the level that they were to play that stuff. So thinking about vocals wasn't even really in the picture um, at the time. But as we went through the singers that we did and stuff, um, there were still sections of songs, even on like the EP and on the full length too, that I was gonna have my own like dedicated sections and stuff. Our plan was to kind of like do a split singer kind of deal already, and so I think it was only natural that we just went with me doing all of the vocals because the music didn't really sound drastically different with my voice over it because we had already heard my voice over it.
Right. But I mean, you do have a great vocal range, I must say. I mean, by listening to this album, I mean, you can tell that you can pretty much, cover both melodic and, the growls pretty well.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I appreciate that, dude.
Cool, cool. So, given the background from, your previous bands or, the band members' previous bands, we're talking about the Faceless and Rings of Saturn, and the whole technical death metal slash deathcore. What inspired you as a band to play more of a progressive metal style?
Well, I think that it has a lot to do with us finally having an opportunity to make our own voice in the bands that we play in, or in a band that we play in. Aaron and Miles and Rings of Saturn, that's somebody else's band. That's Lucas's vision. That's Lucas's brainchild. And so when they're writing for that, it's with that in mind, and so when it comes to Interloper, we have full freedom to write how we feel and what we think we sound like, and it just ended up being a more like progressive metal sound.
Correct. And now that we're talking prog metal, myself being a huge fan of progressive metal, what would you say are as a band the biggest prog metal influences in Interloper?
I'll speak for myself. I would say Between the Buried and Me is like one of my all-time favorite bands. Okay. Great Misdirect and like Colors were
of course
monumental for me. I really love. I wouldn't so much call this progressive metal as much as like alt metal, but like Faith No More and Mr. Bungle are gigantic influences on me. I don't really know that it comes too much through in Interloper, but that's definitely a band that I am always thinking about when I'm writing, and I'm always like trying to hold my music to that standard. And then Aaron and I both are really big fans of Opeth.
Yeah, I was going to mention that there is, I believe there's some Opeth influence that you can certainly feel in most of in the Interloper songs, especially on the heaviest parts.
Yeah, man. Michael is one of the best songwriters of our time, man.
I totally agree with you. Yeah, I believe he did, or he accomplished amazing records. So yeah, they're legendary.
Absolutely,
for sure.
Man. Absolutely. So yeah, that pretty much covers it, I think.
Nice. And talking more about the singles from the debut album, you guys released the first single called Drift. Um, do you think music videos are still relevant nowadays in these times?
Yeah, man. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I really don't know. I really don't know if they are. I don't know if they help or not. I never really understood music videos myself. Sometimes like they can be really cool and artistic, and that's what I like. That's always been more my thing. I like watching those like animation videos, that kind of stuff, rather than watching the bands playing their music. It's just kind of, I've always felt kind of like self-centered, but sometimes you got to bite the bullet. I guess.
That's right. That's right. But
yeah.
I mean, the question is, of course, because you think that, well, in the 80s, you had, the MTV boom and, even in the 90s, and then that disappeared completely. And nowadays, you only have, pretty much YouTube videos. That's where you can pretty much see all this new videos. So hence my question. I mean, I was wondering, how do you feel about music videos? But yeah, I think they're still important. I mean, of course, they're a tool for showcasing and displaying the band, and for making yourselves known better, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, what a music video has always been like just a commercial, you know.
Right.
It's an advertisement, and that's totally great. If I really thought about it, the effect of that, I think, has definitely diminished from the times of like MTV playing music videos on like public television. I think that's really where they had meaning and purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now it's more so just like an accessory and like fan service. It's not so much like we're putting this out because we're going to get more fans. You know, it's just like, we want to show people who we are. We want to do something that's like artistic and like that will stick in people's heads when they listen to the song, that kind of thing.
Right, right. And for Drift, I mean, I mean, the video direction is pretty classic. So it's just a band playing, and you know, you have some cool background. Um,
Yeah.
for us, for the song itself, why did you guys choose Drift as your first single? What was the decision point to, you know, to pick up that particular song?
Yeah, I think that that song, I think that everybody in the band can agree that that song was like, or is, um, kind of all encompassing regarding the sound of the album. It has a little bit of like everything there is to offer. There's like the heaviness and the impact,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's also like the nice rich melody in there. Um, and it's nice and short and sweet. You know, it's not too long, too explorative. Something that's gonna like, you know, deter people if they're a first time listener and don't know us and don't care. You know,
Right, yeah.
so I think that's kind of why we chose that one first.
Okay, cool. And as for the second single and the latest single, Search Party, well, this is an animated video, of course. Can you tell us what's the story behind the animated video?
Like the creation of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can talk about the creation as well. I mean, yeah, who artistically who was in charge of, you know, creating the animated video?
Oh yeah, yeah. So we have a friend. Her name's Paige Alsberg, and she's in art school right now. She actually just graduated from Otis, um, and she majored in storyboarding. So for her senior project, she wanted to storyboard the music video,
Hmm.
and so we had her storyboard the whole thing, like all the scenes, all the angles, everything. She drew it all out on a pencil and paper, and kind of put it all together like that. And then we hired the same guy that did the animations for Drift, the Drift video, those
Hmm.
like background wall animations or
Yeah,
whatever.
right,
Uh,
like the Medusas and all that. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So he's the one that did the animation for the video,
Oh, okay.
based off of the storyboarding. Yeah.
Right, and I guess now talking a little bit more about the meaning and the relation of the lyrics and the video. I mean, you can see, I believe it was a fox that was like just looking around, going through the forest, pretty much like searching. Uh, is that pretty much how it relates to the song? I mean, the fact
So
that you're searching.
Paige told me, or told us, like what it was. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but she had a very symbolic meaning, and I wish that I could explain it right now, but I just would have to ask her.
It looks
But
like we're gonna have to ask her. Yeah.
a
Okay.
fox is like a universal symbol of, I think, I can't remember, like guidance or something like that. And so she
Hmm.
used the
Hmm.
fox to guide this woman to this specific place,
Right.
that kind of thing. And then there was also a raven in the video, which represented something else that I can't remember.
No,
I'm
that's okay.
terrible, dude.
No, 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 that's fine. I was just curious about it because, you know, I mean, there's a lot of focus on that fox, and I guess it had some sort of meaning.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I mean, onto like, I guess the meaning of the video. What I can understand, I mean, well, the story of the video is based off of the lyrics.
Hmm.
So the lyrical content, that's actually a song that Mike Semeski wrote, the old singer in the band. He wrote that whole tune, and from what I've gathered from that, it's like it's just about how people can, they have damage and baggage in their life, and um, and they try and bury it by going to another person, or like a partner kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
bury that baggage, and they think going to a partner is the answer. But what ends up happening is they end up damaging everybody around them. They end up damaging that person, so they go to the next, damaging that person, and then um, all they're left with is themselves. You know, and so that's kind of the point of that song, and that's why she ends up, you know, alone sailing on the sea
Hmm.
and stuff. And and that it coincides with the album cover. You know, she went to the edge of the earth to try and find an answer, and all that's left is herself. And so
Right.
that's what it's about.
Right. And speaking about the the album cover, which I think it's amazing. It looks like it's like an oil and canvas paint, right? I mean that type
Yeah,
of style. Um, and was do you remember by any chance the name of the the artist who did that?
yeah. So his name is Caelan Stokkermans.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember where he's based out of, but he's in the States. Um, and he's done some incredible work for other bands, and I've had my eye on him for a while now, and I knew that I wanted to pitch him to the guys, and so I did, and they were about it. He's done one of the albums that he did recently that I really loved was it's called Slow Decay from the band The Acacia Strain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
so he did that cover, and I think he did Lorna Shore's recent album. Yeah, his style is so cool. It does look like watercolor or like oil and canvas or something.
Yeah, right, right. Like that classic.
It's surprisingly enough, it's digitized. I think it's like kind of like drawn and then scanned, but like he's definitely like digitally illustrating it, which is even more impressive, I think.
Right, right. No, pretty neat cover. I think it was a right choice. And do you guys have the original painting by any chance, or
No, man.
no?
No, like I said, it's all like he did it
Oh,
on.
it's 100% digitalized. Okay, I got
Yeah,
it. All right,
but
there you go.
it looks like it's real, right? Like
Pretty
it's
much, pretty
yeah,
much. Yeah,
like
that's
really
pretty
cool.
impressive.
Yeah, he's got it down, man.
Right, right. Andrew, there is a cover track in this debut album. It's Duran Duran cover, right? For the
Yes,
song
sir.
Burrito. So who came up with that idea and that song in particular?
I don't remember who said like we got to put this on the album, but what I do remember is that we all wanted it on the album. I think it was more of like a just like a group decision that we just knew, you know, we just knew we had to do it. And it's because like I don't know, man, we used to like when we like had some fun like party nights and stuff like
Yeah.
that with friends, like we always wanted to play that song on the like whatever the speaker, the aux cable or whatever. And so we always ended up listening to that song, and it's kind of got like a nostalgic value to it for us.
Right, right.
And we just wanted to like pay our respects on our first album.
With of course with a touch of the interloper on it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Modernize it respectfully.
right, right, right. Are you guys 80s pop music fans? Do you consider yourself 80s pop music fans?
I like a lot of the new wave stuff, and
Hmm.
Miles is a big fan of like glam rock.
There you go. Yeah,
Like,
Motley
yeah,
Crue and Poison and all that. Yeah.
yeah, which I happen to like. Not, I can't stand it.
Yeah, I think I agree a little bit with you on that aspect. I mean, I can take some glam, but not too much.
I can handle it like playing in a bar, you
Exactly.
know, but I'm not gonna like go out of my way and listen to that for fun, you know. But Miles does, and that's cool.
Right.
You know, I'm more
And
of like a I don't know, Depeche Mode and stuff like that, you know, soft cell. Um,
right.
but yeah,
Nice. And let's talk a little bit about the physical formats that the album's going to be released. I was looking through your social media and I noticed that, of course, you're releasing it on vinyl. Vinyl seems like the big thing these days.
oh yeah,
And I believe there's two variants that you have released so far.
correct. Yep,
Mhm.
yeah, we got the pale blood moon one, and then I can't remember what the other color is actually.
Well, it's like
It's the
yellowish,
nuclear
and yeah, it's a
blast.
nuclear. That's right, the nuclear blast edition.
Yeah, they have their own variant.
Right, right. So, yeah, what do you think about vinyl? Do you agree that this is like the right format nowadays, or do you think it's just like a fashion?
I don't know if it's the right format, but I definitely know that it's a very popular format, and I don't know even if it's like that the people that are buying these vinyl are even like really listening as much as they're just collecting.
You're
You
right.
know,
That's
which is cool. It's like it's the biggest like form of media you can buy. You know,
exactly right.
it's like a portrait. You know, which
Hmm.
is really really cool. So I get it. I personally don't like have any vinyl myself. I'm not like a collector or anything like that, but um, I think it has its place, and I'm glad that it's resurging. You know, I think it's been resurging for like years now, like 4 or 5 years, maybe even more.
Yep.
Um, yeah, dude.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see how it how it behaves in the next couple of years. But certainly, it is a big trend nowadays. And yeah, me myself, I got into collecting not so long ago, maybe less than a year ago, and it's like a rabbit hole. I always tell people don't do it.
It's expensive, isn't it?
It is an expensive hobby. Yes, it is.
Yeah, dude. That's what I hear, man.
So I always joke, with my friends, and I tell them, yeah, man, stay away from it. Don't do it. It's gonna
Yeah,
break your bank account.
man. You know what I've also been seeing is cassettes.
Also, yeah, they're also, they're taking off a little bit too. There's bands that are releasing cassettes, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think I've seen it most in like the death metal
Exactly.
community.
Even black metal bands, even they're releasing.
Yeah, like death metal, black metal, and stuff. Not so much like I guess our style of music, like progressive metal and stuff. I'm not seeing that too much, but definitely am seeing cassettes. Who knows what'll happen in like 5 more years? Maybe that's going to be the next big thing. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. Well, Andrew, I think, well, I want to thank you, for this couple of minutes that we had the chance to talk about Interloper and the upcoming album. Well, thank you for listening to Sonic Perspectives, the place where we speak music, the universal language of mankind. From music news to concert reviews, interviews, album reviews, exclusive features, and more. Follow us on all our social media: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Flipboard. Once more, my name is Carlos Gomez, and it was great to speak with Andrew VIRRUETA today. Don't forget to listen to Interloper's debut album called Search Party, out on June 11th on Nuclear Blast. Here's Interloper's latest single, Search Party.